Hi, my name is Mary. This is 5 Minutes with Mary. This morning during our light circle joining here at the center, we were looking at lesson 128, and one of the desires that came up was the desire to value the images in my mind more than infinite being. And it was not hard at all to see how much I value images. It's like that's all there is, are the images in my mind that I value. So I asked Jesus, I asked the voice within, what is infinite being that I so don't value it? And what I was hearing, what he was saying was that because I choose to focus so much on the images in my mind and go back and just, it's like this constant reel film going, it seems like. There's no experience then of infinite being. There's no room for that to occur. So I asked, okay, what's infinite being? And I don't know that I can describe it, but what began to occur was just this awareness of something so much more than the images in my mind. It really started to clarify how limited the images in my mind are. And I think they're so valuable. But when I choose to focus, and it's like the eye is stepping back a bit and saying, okay, what is infinite being? And then just watching what shows up. And so the images start to fade. And so Jesus, the voice, was saying, that's all. It's very simple. If I will bring my focus back to infinite being and ask to be shown, and then just be quiet, it's that simple. And the power of mighty companions and their contribution as savior talked about choice, and it comes down to choice. And I'm like, nah. Seeing images is automatic. There's no choice involved here. And so one of the gifts of these light circle joinings is the gift that the brothers bring to focus deeper. Is it really a choice? Am I really making a choice here? Am I making a choice to value images rather than infinite being? And I was like, no, not buying into that. It's just a concept. It's nice, but no, thank you. So, this is the way it goes in my mind. But here at the center, the focus is over and over again, like this particular metaphor keeps coming back, the banks of the river. It's just coming back and focusing my attention, coming back and focusing my attention. So I started looking at In fact, this whole thing that the inner voice was showing me about changing my focus, about that choice, because it comes down to, what am I going to focus on? And this gets down to taking responsibility for my mind. What is it focusing on? And the fine-tuning of that, and the willingness to see how powerful the pull, the attraction for the images is. Like, that's like all there is. Like, that's really natural. Constant flow of images in my mind, and stepping back from that and saying, oh, okay, maybe there is another way of, there's something else possible here. And then being open to asking, and then being quiet, big deal. Being quiet, shutting the mind down, or just being quiet and watching what shows up. That is a big deal. My mind certainly does not want to do that. So out of this, you might call it process, or this willingness to look, this willingness to be with others deeply committed to seeing what we value differently. What do I value? Seeing that. And then is it really valuable? Does it really last? Does it really bring me happiness and peace and joy? Or is it just temporary? Okay, I think I have it here and I think I have it there. Or is there another way? Is there something more here? Is there something bigger and vaster and deeper than my mind usually wants to embrace? So over and over again in these joining circles where we look at desires for experiences and are really willing to look directly at our desire for a certain experience, this practice over and over and again, I notice, brings a release, a lightness, so that my mind, thinking that the only thing to value is the images in my head, begins to dissipate. And these moments are kind of like connecting the dots. They start to, not just a dot here and a dot there and a dot there, but there's a wholeness that begins to occur, that I become aware of. Thank you. 5 minutes.